Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Rome Total War Remastered. Here today on the channel, we're back with episode 7 of my Scipii Roman Let's Play. Here today, we're going to be continuing our conquest of Egypt, and we're going to be pushing and diving in headstrong into the Iberian Peninsula. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like. Subscribe if you're new around here with notifications on. Leave it on the comments, feedback and suggestions for the series, and where you'd like me to expand and conquer. I gotta say a huge thank you to the Creative Assembly for sending me a free early access code of Rome Remaster, making this Let's Play possible. So a huge thank you to them, their community team, and of course Feral Interactive. So, we currently have Oppius Scipio here. We've managed to take Memphis and Thebes in quite quick succession. Siwa is currently under siege. We have North Africa, Greece, Sicily, and we're also pushing into Asia Minor as well. Nero and Sextus are pushing over here. We are at war with the Mithridatic Kingdom of Pontus. Hyrus is bringing over another army from Athens. Now, we have officially... we should be hitting Marian reforms here today. We've got some Triarii in here as well. We do have more units coming by the day to my recruitment center here, and we're 4 turns off. Yes, I couldn't remember if it... I just saw the Triarii, I was like, maybe did we do it? Did we do it? No. We're 4 turns away before we hit Marian reforms, before we have to give thanks to Gaius Marius, which I mentioned him and Sulla in the last video. So, as you can see here, we've set up a pretty strong network of watchtowers throughout Africa. We have Lucius Quintilius and Lucius Scipio there. We're sieging out the Gauls who have occupied the city of Nova Carthago, New Carthage. Gannicus the Mean is here. He is the son of Gaius Scipio, who is our faction leader. We've run to our 3rd faction leader. So, we're currently trying to run down some men of Britannia there, because Britannia's had a pretty interesting campaign. They managed to take all of Gaul and take down the Spanish in Iberia, which is kind of crazy. The Brutii have Batavium, also some other territory, but the Brutii and the Julii have come back a bit, but the Brutii haven't had the best of campaigns in this series. So we're going to be sending Oppius Scipio here, our factionaire, to try and run down Ptolemy Dionysus. We'll bring in Valerius just for some more additional reinforcements, and we'll fight this one on the battlefield. Let's do a quick save and a hard save. 2,740 Romans against Ptolemy Niso Dionysus, who has 1,600. A lot of axemen. He's got his own catapults there as well. Not too many hoplites, which I'm thankful for.
The afterlife will have many new souls by nightfall. Make sure that yours isn't among them, and all will be well. Battle now awaits us! The Pharaoh has sent his servants against us. Do not fear them, for they will be cut down by us, just like other men. And draw strength from this fact. The enemy are so loathed that no ally can be found to support them. They have been brought to the battlefield by mewling infants instead of leaders. The balance of numbers favors us, I see. This is good. I do not believe in giving the enemy an easy time. They will, unless completely unthinking, try to use the woods to screen some of their troops. Many times I have faced these people, and still they are too stupid to learn their lesson. Today, men will die to teach them afresh that they should simply run away. Now I say, this far and no further. Here we make a stand. You all know my worth and what I have done before. Of the foes who attacked me in the past, few ever got to boast of their success. Units, await my orders.
Okay, let's get stuck into the Egyptians. We're fighting on the grass green fields here. There's even some wheat fields in the background. We eventually want to turn Egypt to essentially be the breadbasket of our Roman Empire. Now, we can allow the AI to come in with reinforcements and control it, but I don't personally like sometimes the reinforcing AI because it does have a tendency to get your generals killed. Okay, I've set up the triple axis formation now. You don't need to see me basically draw a checkered board. So there's my Astarte, they can go on fire at will. But yeah, if we're in a battle where I think I can confidently beat the enemy with just one army, we'll do it, but if we need them, they will trickle in one unit at a time and I can control them. So let's move up slightly to match the Egyptian host. We've already had a couple of battles against the Egyptians. So far, we are undefeated against them. Oppius Scipio, the grandson of Scipio Africanus, the son of Quintus Scipio, our second faction leader. So we do have to watch out for those chariots there. I've been really liking the triple axis formation. It's actually been working quite well, the Manipole system. We'll hit those cavalry there. They can charge them properly. And the rest can hold. Our Vilites are further in the back line. So we're currently fighting on 3 fronts. We've wrapped up the Carthaginians and the Numidians in this series. We're dealing with Bronze Age Ptolemy Egypt. The Mithridatic Wars have kicked off. But we haven't had too many fights with them, so that hasn't really erupted just yet fully. We have managed to take Sardis. But we've been fighting a lot of defensive wars in this series. We haven't been too aggressive. Like the Casus Belli has definitely been easier to roleplay. And definitely hold back. Our catapults are doing quite well here. A couple of our units have charged forward. This is the brilliance of the triple axis formation, and we've killed the general there. Half of our army is engaged, while the rest can sort of get ready to pivot and maneuver and flank where they can. The AI can't seem to deal with it. I think a flat formation is far more effective, and it probably saves more Roman lives. But I think it's just cool to roleplay and stuff. I also try to track the lineages on my series. Alright, looks like they're in a full retreat now. So we'll try and chase them down. Unfortunately, I need to check up on this, but I don't know if it's for a fact. There was a branch in the early access build that you couldn't choose other family members adopting people. I think that has been removed now. But that was a part of this, which isn't save compatible. So, I personally only like to play, like in my previous original Rome series, I only had sort of ethnic Scipii as commanders, Scipiones, and traced their lineages that way. I didn't like to adopt people overly too much. I don't think I even married the daughters off, because I didn't want to have a different last name for my Romans. But they're running through the wheat fields here, running down the remaining Egyptian stragglers. There are some new HD resolution textures as we run down through the wheat fields here. I do kind of wish they added the zoom in camera angle, like in Warhammer Total War. You press N on your keyboard and you can zoom super far in. But a clear victory, and a fantastic one. We only lost 100 Romans with Oppius Scipio, and we've managed to destroy an Egyptian army there. Fortune favours the brave. Terry. Alright. And we've probably relieved the garrison there at Memphis. The Egyptians are really strong. Okay, so they're still bringing more further up. The Egyptians are a really strong faction controlled by the AI. They even tend to beat the Seleucids, which they did in this series. And they've managed to take Parthian territory as well. Just want to reform up slightly here. Because they are just continually pouring troops against me, yeah. So the Egyptians attacked me. Pontus attacked me. Numidia attacked me. We are just poor Romans defending our lands and honour. To be fair, we would have found a reason to go to war with them anyway, I guess. Okay, so my brother Publius is here as well. He's 32. He's not the most military-minded. So, we've got a little bit of squalor happening. Distance to capital. Yeah, these territories over here. Squalor. Religious. We also just need to build them up. Maintaining these regions is going to be difficult because the populations can get a little bit high. And also throwing back constant waves. Okay, let's deal with the Pergamon. So that siege equipment isn't built just yet. We've got a garrison in Sardis just fine. We'll ferry more troops over. Right, so have we got movement over here? No, we can just end the turn. Before we have to deal with the west. Egypt has attacked us here in Siwa. Alliance attack Britannia. No thank you. Weren't you allied with Britannia? So strange. Okay. They've still got forces around Alexandria. New family member as well. SPQR, Julii, Brutii are at war with Spain. Block the port of Petra. Yes, that was a mission, wasn't it? We need to get some ships to go over there. Not strategically, probably worth it. I'm surprised they want me to do that, to be honest. Okay, let's move Oppius up. Okay, I guess we can maybe try and push these guys back if we bring up some more reinforcements. We do have the pyramids, which gives us the bonus of conquering fellow Egyptians. He's only 3-star, so I could go... Yeah. I want to try and get a night fight. You should be able to. Maybe it's 4-star command, I can't remember. Anyway, auto resolve this one. And we've pushed the army back to Alexandria. We'll move our spy in, because we might get lucky, you never know. We might be able to waltz into the city. We'll move in Aulus Scipio. Okay. We'll get some mercs there as well, because we've got some extra funds. Okay. We can take Pergamon now. I don't know what that Pontic army is doing. They haven't decided to attack Rhodes. They're just sort of hanging out over there. We're going to be able to easily take Pergamon here with Sextus, as there's not a very big garrison inside. So it looks like we're going to be able to take the eastern pocket of Anatolia. We'll break down the Temple of Zeus, because we want to bring in eventually the Temple of Vulcan. And Pergamon and Sardis have fallen to us in quite quick succession. Not the best commanders over here, but better than nothing. Okay. Let's move Hieros over with some additional reinforcements. Nero is head of this campaign, while Oppius Scipio is dealing with the Egyptian front, while Gaius, the conqueror of Numidia, is dealing with the Spanish. We've still got a pretty decent fleet there, so we can move units constantly. 3 units off Marian reforms before our Roman legionaries evolve. Now, unlike in Rome 2, we're not going to be able to instantly flip them. We're going to have to recruit them manually, which is a little bit annoying, but it's probably more realistic. Okay, let's deal with Nova Carthago. New Carthage. The Gauls have brought up an army here. I want to allow Lucius Scipio to take the command, because the dude's 38 and he is a little bit inept as a general. I want him to get his command up a bit and become a true Scipio. So the problem is we are facing the faction leader here, but we have managed to win, and officially Gaul has been destroyed. Who would have thought Gaul would have fled so far south and be taken out by the Scipio? This has been a really cool campaign. There's been so much crazy stuff that I didn't really expect. And we'll bring down the sacred circles there. But yeah, we've been pulled in some crazy directions in this campaign. I'm trying to remember my blueprint. I think I was like, okay, we'll do North Africa, we'll get rid of Carthage, then we'll go into Spain, and we might go into Greece. But this campaign, because we got drawn into North Africa, and then we got surprised attacked by the Numidians, we focused on them more. We were surprisingly able to get Thermon. I think it was a massive play for us, and I was like, okay, then I have to fully commit moving our forces over to Greece. And then Egypt attacked. Like, I actually thought I would have conquered Spain before Egypt in this. Okay. Welcome to the top of the turn. Oppius is currently sieging out Alexandria, and hopefully can be the conqueror of Egypt. Publius, his brother's there, and Ullius, his uncle. And we should have enough to take Alexandria here now. Let's auto-resolve this one. And we've secured the historical territory of ancient Egypt. The pharaohs halves the chance of nearby ships sinking, increased naval movement. Oh, cool. So now we're going to be able to defend our Mediterranean kingdom with the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
Yes, mighty lord.
Yeah. I wonder if you get any sort of library buffs. Like, surely the library's a thing now. I wouldn't mind making a short peace with Egypt, as we have to focus on Pontus, but they're not interested. Okay. So, we will need to repair Alexandria and break down the religious institutions. Where are they? Large temple to Iris. Osiris. Osiris. And we'll go with the Vulcan again. Repair that, and then prioritize this. Alright, sweet. I think they rebalanced Squalor in Rome Remastered. I think it's slightly easier from what I can remember from the original game. I think it's more manageable. The Egyptians have so much territory towards the Levant there. Cyprus, Antioch, Jerusalem are firmly under Egyptian lands. Now, we have moved a lot more armies over here to Pontus, as we've skipped a little bit ahead. Hieros is here now. We've also got Nero, who was the first to land. Gannicus is a new general who's joined the family. He's actually quite good. 6 stars, well, being 21. He's one of the more fortunate generals that we've managed to pick up from an adoption. So, hopefully, he's good for us. Okay. Greece is relatively fine for now. Still trying to ferry as many soldiers over as we can. And we've nearly hit Marian reforms there. Marcellus is going to head over to Spain. Lucius is hanging out there. And up in the north, Gannicus Scipio with Flavius is pushing north. We do have Gaius Scipio, the faction leader, sieging out some Spanish of the Abdani tribe. And I think we'll play this one. We haven't had any decent fights against the Spanish, who have fled to modern-day Portugal. Gaius the Harsh, our faction leader. 6-star command, who's 60. Let's do a quick save and a hard save, and we'll fight this one against the Spanish. But yeah, Gannicus, 21. Just got the RNG of being a fantastic commander. Gaius the Harsh here has had to earn his way to that command level.
Over there stand the Spanish. They make a fine show in the field, and are worthy enemies for us. They stand alone. No friend has come to this place to die for them. Does this not say something about their honor? They're standing among nations? The enemy are numerous, it is true. But those very numbers make the risk to them greater. A full quarter of their warriors face us. Let us crush them and drive a stake through the heart of our foe. Let your watchword be victory! They think their walls are enough to stop us. They should think again. The count of our warriors is vastly greater than theirs, so unless we fight like old women or idiots, victory is certain. Those people have never met us on a field of battle. After today, they will flee at the sound of our approach. They are strong in cavalry, and this will require inventive thought today, as we lack enough spearmen to counter them. So let your battle cry put fear into the enemy's guts. Call out to them and be brave. Call to the heavens and let strength and honor be your watchwords today.
Okay, let's get stuck into the Spanish. We're fighting on a barbarian settlement, of course. They do tend to be a lot easier to take than Hellenic or Far Eastern. Now, my Principes have been a little bit zapped of manpower. They are in the yellow medium. They've only got about 90, some to a man, while we only have a handful that are fresh. In this army build, most of it's made up of Principes, 3 units of Astarte, 2 units of Roman archers. We do have a Roman ballista here, along with some slingers as well. Now, we are going to be facing Iberian infantry, which can be a little bit challenging. We would have faced them, of course, when we fought Carthage. I wonder if you dive into the stats, like, are they the same, or are there slight differences? I don't really tend to play as the Spanish or the Carthaginians. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Okay. Moving slightly back here might be the play. There we go. That's what I want. I accidentally brought up the Steam overlay in the Rome Remastered faction, guys. I had to cut that out. I don't know if I'm allowed to show that. So that's why there's a weird cut there. Okay. Alright, let's move up there. Perfect. I do heavily edit my videos. Anyway, so abrupt cuts you guys should be okay with. Okay, but why is it not moving everyone up? There you go. So strange. Anyway, let's start the battle. Now, what I want to do for this first moment is just try and skirmish out as many of them as possible. I've lined up my Roman ballista with the hill towards the top of the town square, because even if the ballista slightly miss, unless they hit the wall bang on, they should be able to hit those units further at the back. Now, the brilliant thing about barbarian settlements, particularly when you have Roman archers and skirmishers, is you're going to be able to arc your shot up nice and high and start hitting the enemy inside. So we should be able to, if we can form up here properly, we should be able to get some decent shots against the Iberians inside. I tend to call them Iberians more than Spanish, because it's a little bit early to call them Spanish. Like, did the Romans call it the Iberian Peninsula, or was it like Hispania? I don't know. I don't know the naming exactly. But my Roman archers seem to be whittling down some of them inside. My slingers aren't doing the best. So we were hitting just some Spanish skirmishers. Iberian cavalry further towards the town square. And we've also got some Iberian swordsmen intertwined. Now, this Scipii campaign will end in the future at some point. So, I just want to get away from those watchtowers there. Let me know in the comments what you'd like me to replace it with. Soon, at some stage, we'll be able to show off the expansions for the Rome Remaster / DLC. So, it might be worth jumping on one of those. But I do plan to eventually, over the coming weeks and months, let's play a lot of the Roman factions. I'd like to play as the Brutii and the Julii at some point. And we've also got to go back to that Macedonian campaign. But maybe a Western or Eastern Roman Empire series could be something we could do. So we'll speed things up slightly here. Put it on 3 times speed, because we don't need to be getting too many of these cinematic shots, just skirmishing them. I just need to pull back slightly. It's just when they're pathfinding frays, they stop arcing their shots. Are they going to shoot now? No. Maybe they need to be further back. It's like these guys have gotten too close. Are you now happy to shoot now? Yep, there we go. Especially when they move so much. Because we want to be away from the arrow tower. We also want to try and inflict damage on them. Look. They keep on running back, and resetting this is making me lose men. I think I might just sort of go in. We'll break down 4 walls in. We'll move up my ballista to try and get some shots off. We've done a little bit of damage on the inside, but they have also hit us. So let's maybe move that ballista back out of the way. Slowly now move you up to the walls. Yeah, so I don't know who to play as if I was to do a Barbarian invasion campaign. We do have the Romano-British and the Western and Eastern Roman Empire. We are probably, I'm trying to remember the map. I would say at this point and the way we're heading, we're probably going to have more Eastern Roman Empire territory. Because if we've conquered Egypt, we're going to push into and finish off Pontus. We also want to finish off the Egyptians. We're going to have the bottom half of Greece, not the north, under our control. And we do have Sicily, but we don't have Spain under our control just yet. You never know, the Julii could come down and take half of it. They already occupy Gaul. And they're probably going to make their way to Britannia. Depending on if we're quick enough to conquer Iberia. Because I've still got an option for this army here. I think what we should do is with Oppius Scipio, our factionaire, great-grandson of Scipio Africanus. He can sort of be the conqueror of Egypt. He can continue his father's legacy, Quintus Victor, who conquered Greece and started the plans in Egypt. I think Oppius should continue. Nero was the commander in Asia Minor, but I think I might give it to Gannicus, who's that 6-star commander. He looks alright. 6-star commander, although not a Scipio, but adopted. He could be a useful commander through us. I'm kind of happy about that, because it's been... we've had a lot of... because the AI's chosen family members to adopt, they haven't chosen the best ones, eh? We've only had very few choices through the Scipio daughters to marry off. Okay, so we've managed to break down the walls and the gate here. So I quickly just want to reform. Just so we hold and we can get some skirmish shots off there. Starting to push. Come on, you need to form up better than that, please. Maybe hit that. If it's just the one and you can't reform quick enough, my archers are going to get some shots off. We're actually hitting them from multiple sides? No way have we routed just some Iberians because of that, because we're hitting them on weird angles. I can't tell if they're retreating or reforming. Anyway, we're going to try it if they want to pull back. Our infantry is now moved in. But yeah, I think we'll allow Gaius to try and conquer Iberia. The conqueror of Numidia. Okay, let's move some of our skirmishers more in. We're starting to make our way up the hill. Pushing up the high ground is going to complicate things. We could move our general up. I don't think we're probably going to hit by those arrow towers. It'll also just give us that added morale boost and security. It's probably not a bad idea moving him up. Better than not. My archers now that are in the city are getting their shots. They're arcing their arrow fire well. Perfect. And we're slowly making our way up the Iberian high ground. We've got some cavalry holding. Not too many Iberians there. We're fighting in and around their huts. Okay, try and get our skirmishers to help out there. We are going to struggle up that hill. Even with Astarte and Principes. Because, yeah, we might have a couple units rout here. They're just not at full strength. Which is unfortunate. But they are making their way up there. We might lose a unit or two. It's just not very hard. Especially fighting in narrow corridors like this. They can be very cemented in there. But surely you'd be able to break through there with cavalry. Against their cavalry. Oh, they've got a couple of units there. The problem is now, I thought... The problem is now, if you disengage to flank and hit them from all sides, it could actually cause a mass rout. Like, we're just better off slowly moving our way up there. Oh! I think we've got a bit of luck here. We might have to call Gaius the Mean Gaius Felix. Latin for fortunate there, killing the enemy general. Good. That basically saved that gridlock misplay. We got continue. I'm surprised how much ammunition our archers have, because they've been tearing up, and they're going to be so much better once we get MARIAN reforms in as well. Because then we can work our way to, in my opinion, one of the best units the Romans have to offer, and my favourite, the Urban Cohort. I love spamming out those. But early on, early legionary and some Praetorian Guard will do us just fine. Because we've been fighting a lot of this campaign with Principes and Astartes still. Okay, we're moving our way into the town square now. There shouldn't be much more Spanish left. But yeah, normally when you're this far into a campaign, you would have normally had Marian reforms if you rushed them. Okay, the town square isn't overly too big on this one, so that's good. So, a thing to remember in Rome Total War and the remaster, the units fight to the death when they're in their town square. They don't rout any further back because there's nowhere to go. So it's not as bad in Barbarian settlements, where the radius and town square is a lot smaller. It does complicate things when you get those large Hellenic, Greek, Macedonian city-states, town squares, and like the Egyptian eastern ones as well, to some extent. Because yeah, they're about the same size. I think I'm just trying to think of the top of my head. I think like when we fought in Sparta, it was probably around about the same size as the one in Thebes. So what we want to do now is flank. So we'll move in Gaius. Now this is always a risk and reward attempt, because although he's our faction leader, he's got some fantastic traits. He's 6-star command. He's got 100 men under his command. He, at the end of the day, is a very squishy entity. So even if you're hitting units from behind like this, he can still be killed. So we're going to have to be incredibly careful. I think it's worth moving him in though. Although he's a 6-star commander, yeah, it'll wrap things up quicker. Good, we worked out well. So we lost 600, which isn't too bad for a siege when they had about 1,000. The true contempt of an invader is shown by deeds of valor in the field. Hermocrats of Syracuse. Okay, well, we've managed to take a settlement here in Spain. And really, Portugal. Okay, so we don't need the population anymore, as we are going to get Marian reforms here today, towards the end of the episode. Good. And Scalibus has fallen. Trait increase, Oppius Scipio, and they want me to block the port of Halicarnassus. I definitely can do that, because I'm probably going to be able to block it before I take the settlement, because we still want to keep amicable relations with the Senate. And I do want to try and get as many officers' positions as well. Okay, let's end the turn and continue. So, at the top of the turn, if everything goes to plan, we should hit Marian reforms. Hey! A new man, Gaius Marius. Gaius Marius has proposed a series of laws that will allow the proletariat to join his reorganized Roman army. In return for the many years of military service, every soldier will be given land as a kind of pension. This reform is passed in the People's Assembly without the approval of the Senate. It's certainly that such popular and populist appeal will do Marius no favours in the long run. Okay, the troop types available for recruitment now reflect the structure of this new professional army. Check the recruitment scroll to see the details. Okay, sweet, cool beans. Anything else? Oh, we have some new officers. Gaius is now pontiff. A chance for power. Your popularity among the people of Rome is unmatched. The plebes would welcome you as the new saviour of Rome. So maybe at this point now we can march on Rome. I guess that's what that means. Thrace has started a war now, though. And they still want me to block the port at Halicarnassus. Yeah, the Senate and the people like me. Gaius could march on Rome. No, not yet. I basically want to march on Rome when I'm strong enough. I want to be able to take... Because the thing is, when we declare war upon Rome, we're going to have to deal with the Brutii and the Scipii. And on this difficulty, they're going to be quite hard, so We want to be able to march on Rome unopposed, basically. Take out the Senate quickly and then deal and protect our external territories. But anyway, that's still ages down the line. So we can get some early legionary cohort. We've also can get some Praetorian Guard as well. But it will take some time before all our armies reflect the Marian reform units. So, unfortunately, you can't click on Hastati, then reform them instantly into those cohorts, like in Rome too. So, we're going to have to manually recruit them. But once we get them, they're going to be great. Praetorian cohort. Legionary. Even some early legionary. I really can't wait. I think it takes 2 turns for Praetorian, only 1 for legionary. We also can get some cavalry auxilia and some Roman cavalry as well. So we're going to be able to finally get some awesome army builds. So I might even burn some turns and just like get some awesome armies going. Pontus are sending more units to Sardis, so we're going to have to deal with this Mithridatic war which is coming to a head. Gannicus Salu, kind of reminds me of Sulla. Salu. He can get some legionary cohort here as well. So let's get a couple of those guys in. Same within Pergamon as well. But yeah, as we lose Hastati and Principes, legionary and Praetorians will eventually come in. But it looks like the Brutii and the Julii are going to be dealing with Thrace, which is good. Because you can... The problem is with you if you push up the Thrace and Macedon and stuff, you can get drawn into sort of endless northern barbarian walls where the land is so large and expanse. It's huge up there, the amount of territory. And it's not that worth it even if you get rid of them. So I kind of don't mind that they've taken Thessalonica and they're sort of dealing with the barbarians past the Danube. Like, could you imagine now if we had Scythians, Thracians, or Germanians dealing with us in and around the Danube? That'd be so annoying. Anyway, Julii is still pushing there. We've still got to deal with our territory in Egypt, and I want to try and push further into Spain. I also want to try and get some eyes on Jerusalem if we can. Become a protectorate. No thank you. They've only got 1 territory left. Okay. More Egyptians are posturing on the border, but we've nearly eradicated them here in Alexandria and Memphis. They've even got more further back here. Egypt is such a strong faction. Okay, diplomacy-wise, do they want peace at all? No, they still don't want it. I'd nearly accept it, so I can focus on Pontus, which are gathering heaps of forces. Okay, so Pontus have now attacked. They've pushed into Sardis. Gannicus with his armies. I might just call him Gannicus Sulla, because Sulla sort of dealt with... Yeah. Sort of the Pontic kings. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how we got a young guy who's like that high command. Secundus Pompilius. Pompey. Actually works out well. Okay, we'll try and ferry over more forces from Greece as well. We're still heavily recruiting from Lilybaeum, Messena, and Syracuse. So I do recommend as the Scipii, if you do sort of have Greece and Sicily as your operations, like you sort of want a group of settlements where you can recruit from and just send them over, because the only... It's just a little bit annoying. Some people think it's a criticism. It's just like you have to send all these baggage trains over essentially to refill your infantry. So it is easier just getting a bunch of units and sending them over at a stack at a time instead of like sending them one by one. So maybe getting like a close, tight group of settlements. Sicily is perfect for that, and just to send them over. But there's the Julii and the Brutii. Nothing too crazy. They might even take Byzantium though. That's probably a settlement I would have liked, but it's not as highly coveted in this time period, or necessarily that built up. Alright, well, unfortunately on that note, it's time to end the video here, guys. Thank you very much for watching episode 7 of my Rome Total War Remastered Scipii campaign. Still a lot more of the grind to get through in this campaign. We have conquered the historical territory in modern-day Egypt. Now we need to push into Jerusalem, Cyprus, and sort of their far eastern territory. We might even have to push as far as, like, Babylon, which might be kind of insane. I wasn't thinking I was going to go that far east, but we might have to just to get rid of them, because like I just don't trust the AI. Like if you make peace with them, they're eventually going to attack you. So like, for example, if we're like, okay, we don't want to take their far eastern territories, we sue for peace, we move all our units out, they're just going to betray us. The only way to officially get rid of the threat of a faction is to destroy them, because alliances, protectorates, peace do not hold for very long. You're better off just to beat them into submission. Still got to deal with Pontus as well, and we might actually be able to finish off the Spanish in the next episode, and then I've got to decide what to do with my armies. We could help out the Julii in northern Gaul, maybe even Germany and Britannia. We'll just have to see with those military forces, or depending if we're struggling in the east, because we are fighting Pontus and Egypt on a two-front, we might need to send them over. I think we're okay, though, because we've got about basically 3 to 4 stacks on each front. I don't know how many full armies, full legions we have in operation now. It must be close to 10 or 12. I don't know exactly. Maybe I should figure that out. Anyway, thanks, guys. I'm going to play the outro now. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already with the bell notification on. Let me know in the comment section down below feedback and suggestions for the video, and feel free to leave a dislike. If you want to support the channel and follow me on my social media links, they are all linked in the description below. We've got the series playlist that you can access. You can also have a look at my gaming and recording equipment. If you want to get yourself some cheap games, check out the links. You can support me on Patreon if you want. Channel members are available. Use creator code SimpzyTotalWar on the Epic Games Store checkout to flick me a couple of bucks. We've got Twitter, Discord, merchandise, Facebook, Steam group, Instagram, Twitch, and Google Plus links all in the description below as well. But above all, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye.